This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to open the meeting, the Energy and Sustainability Committee meeting for Thursday, August 21st. I call the meeting to order. The first order of business is signing the documents, approval of the minutes from last month, which Kathleen put together. Has everybody had a chance to read them and go over them?
I didn't see them.
You see them?
I did not see the minutes, no.
Oh, did you get them, Sam?
Were they in one of the emails that you sent?
I don't know if I sent them to both of you because I didn't know that you had already been sworn in.
Oh, wait a minute,
I
that's
don't
right.
think I got
Yeah.
someone else.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
Yeah, we're sworn in.
Yeah,
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that on the list, so
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just said the 5 members, so.
that's what it was, yeah, just the 5
Right.
members. Yeah.
No hard feelings. No hard feelings.
Sorry. I didn't mean to put you on
We
the
gotta
spot.
make sure it's official. This is
Yeah.
like secret document, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad there's 5 of us here because now we have a quorum, otherwise we needed 4, we got 5, so. So that's why, so you guys can actually sign because it'd just be the people that were here, except for Patricia, right? So, so on this side of the table, then you've had a chance to, I know you did. Read. So, I make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
A second?
There's a second. Is there any discussion on anything else to add to these or change or? No? No? Okay. All in favor, say aye of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Good. Sounds like it carries and we'll sign these off and turn them in. Good. And here. So next month, you guys will be on. this
All
side.
right.
Okay.
There we go. So this is a warm up. This is what happens.
Yeah, there you
Additions to the agenda. Anybody have any additions to the agenda you'd like to put in there? Of course I do. Anybody else does? Yeah, I do. I have a couple things. Which I did attend a meeting on Tuesday with the planning board and conservation and with the Department of Energy Resources. So I'd like to talk about that under the other parts. If everybody's okay with that. It was basically on site. They're coming up with draft regulations on site planning and siting for like solar fields and anything kind of renewable. So it's an interesting discussion. And then also I heard something interesting on NPR that I just want to bring up as well. I thought was a pretty cool thing. So it was about the Arcadia Folk Festival put on by the Mass Audubon. And they had some interesting things around sustainability. So if everybody's okay, I'd talk a little bit about that as well.
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. No appointments scheduled or anybody being appointed anything? Patricia, you said you're doing the minutes? This time. Okay, thank you. All right, let's move into the reports from the subcommittees. And we'll start off with Patricia with the transportation. Is the charger in down here?
No. So I was trying to catch up with what Mike wrote on the last,
Yeah.
when he talked on the last thing, to see where we are. So he said, equipment is currently on site and amp up installed and steel weldings are on site and equipment around. So
He actually went to a lot of detail about the nuances of everything that was going on with the national grid and upgrading the service, and there was a whole bunch, and the handicap situation with the berm there.
right, so I can't remember if when we, Steve, Mike, and I all went there, met with the installer.
Yeah, that was
And I can't
before.
remember if that was before.
That was before.
Or
I
after.
think that was before. unless you had
Before, so he
afterwards.
told you about when before we screwed everything in, the installer screwed everything in just put it there and said, does this look okay?
Yeah.
And I said, let's measure that.
Yeah.
From the pavement
Yeah.
to where the control box is, and it was 7 inches too high. Because when they made it, they just made it from the bottom up, they
Right.
didn't realize that it's up, higher
Came up
than the
a lot,
curve,
yeah.
yeah.
You wouldn't think it would be 7 inches, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with not having a general contractor, like there's no one person that's overseeing it, so. And also it was a strange thing that they have the card reader on the non-ADA pole. So I think there's some redesign with that they're gonna do, and it was like around the edge and not on the front.
AD,
Which
that's a
we didn't know until we actually got the equipment. So I think everyone's aware that they were gonna put in equipment. We were all there at that meeting. And there needs to be some new arrangement with the ADA pole and the card reader and stuff. So Mike returned the equipment on August 15th. He drove it back down to Connecticut.
Oh.
And it will be cut down. They will do whatever reconfiguration that we have to do. It will be an extra charge. Steve is aware. I don't know what that extra charge is going to be. I don't think in the big scheme of things it's going to be that much. We expect that we should have the equipment ready and ready for us to pick up again in a month, like mid-September,
Okay.
after this is all been redone. And then, I don't know if it's going to be
Just before the fair.
yeah, Steve or Linda or Mike is gonna drive down and pick them up again and bring them back. The
Does that
elect,
cover another grant, the extra fee to do that?
probably not. The electrical service was upgraded on August 11th. So that is ready to go, which is good. The National Grid came in and done that, so that's done. So that's it on the EV charging thing. And then as far as the rail trail, I'm wondering if Rich could take the lead on rail trail stuff, because I am not able to make those Tuesday meetings. And then just the big news for the Central Mass Rail Trail is the development of a biking and pedestrian crossing bridge on the Charles River by the Science Museum. And as for the trail in Belchertown, coming from Amherst, the trail's not well marked past the paved section. Once the pavement ends, then it's just not well marked. You can find it, like, oh, there it is, and you just go off in the woods and you can find it.
No, where exactly is that?
If you're coming from the regular rail trail, like that goes to Northampton, Amherst,
yeah.
and then it crosses the road and goes into Belchertown, there's a short section that's paved in
Yeah.
Belchertown.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of ends.
On Warren White Road?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Warren
But you
White,
can find, you go down the road like a little bit and then up in the woods and you can find where it continues, but now
It
it's dirt.
continues past, going like towards Bay
Yeah.
Road?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's there, and it's a railroad grade, it's built up so you can see where it is and you can ride along it for a long ways, but then it just sort of disappears into this tangle of mountain bike paths
It really
all
does.
over the place.
It's like
just sort of
behind private property and everything. It's really hard to know what's
and
legal to go
mountain
on.
Yeah, and it's trails, there's picnic tables out there too, it's sort of nice, but it's easy to get disoriented and lost because it's tangled trails.
Yep.
So you end up having to go out to Route 9. That's, so more than the trestle, that would be an area to work on too, but I don't know what the situation is, like you said, with private property or like that.
Well, the Trustful Bridge, the Friends of the Belchertown Greenway, led by Leanne Connolly, she helped apply for a grant to repair that railroad trestle bridge. And Sarah Fortune.
In that area there is the one
No,
that.
not the area I'm talking
Oh, no.
That's further down.
Where's the
Now,
trestle bridge?
between Springfield Road and
Oh,
181.
All right. Oh, that goes over the Jabesh Brook one.
Yeah,
That goes over the Jabesh Brook, yeah.
yeah, right. So
That's fun to ride over.
I mean, that was
Yeah, a little thrilling.
that was a focus, it's posted, don't, the warning or whatever, because it's not safe. But they had a study done that, that was authorized, there were funds that were authorized at the town meeting for that. So the study was done and there's a price attached to it. and there's a grant that's been submitted back in February, and they're waiting for an answer on the grant.
Oh, still from February?
Yes, yeah, it's been delayed for some reason,
Okay.
but it's supposed to come out soon. And then also there's another grant that Sarah Fortune applied for to improve, I think, a 1.3 mile section around Jackson and George Hannum, I think.
Yeah, the part's all right, but I mean,
It's
squirrely.
bumpy and there's
Yeah.
hills and it's gonna be like kind of smoothed out.
Well,
But I don't know how much the grant was for, but there's a question now, like the group thought that the whole part after Warren Wright that can be restored would be not paved, like stone dust.
Yeah.
But the grant that was submitted for this 1.3 miles is for pavement.
Okay.
So now there's some question about that, I guess. I don't know. It's supposed to be discussed at the next meeting, if they should redo the grant or just accept the grant if it's, approved and just have that part paved. Then on the rest, I guess it's gonna be sort of done section by section.
Right.
And like it was explained to us by this woman from the East Quabbin Land Trust who has done a lot of these things over the last couple of decades. You just kind of do piece by piece and you keep applying for grants. And
Okay.
it's, there's mass trails grants and I guess,
The state grants are all state grants?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah. Say, is it a similar grant for like the one that was done Holyfield, like all the newer trails up in there? Similar idea.
There was a grant for that, you said, or?
Was there a grant for that? I was thinking like, if
Oh, you
it's-
mean the one around the pond there?
yeah, like Foley, like those new trails that are in like the little Vista area.
Yeah. I don't know about those, but, so that's the status of it for now. And, some of it's pretty good now and it's used a lot. And then other parts, like you said, are kind of not that good. But it is most of it is owned by the town. And some of it has to still get right of way, like, or maybe be purchased. But Sarah Fortune's very aware of it, is kind of working with the group.
Okay.
And then also, connecting to the town that way. And Leanne's good about that too. So I think it's headed the right way, but it's just going to take a while.
How about the butter issues? It was about like a butters to the.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, there are issues.
Yeah.
And they need to be resolved. But the good thing is there's a whole Mass Central Rail Trail group that has, like trying to get the whole thing done from Northampton to Boston.
Right.
And Belchertown has the longest uncompleted section of anything, like it's maybe 70 miles of the 104 is done. And Belchertown has like 8 or 10 miles that are not done. So this group is coming to the meetings now, a couple of people from the group, and I've been emailing with them and they're gonna support us maybe to get, I don't know, they've done this in a lot of other places, so they're gonna lend us their expertise. And they have staff, paid staff, some paid staff, some volunteer staff, but they're definitely behind us to get this done, so. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. So you were asked if you would kind of take the lead on that.
Yeah, I would, yeah, since I'm involved with the group and, I think I'm gonna be the treasurer and try to raise funds and also I'm trying to improve the website, but I'm not good at it. I had a small lesson and it's sort of like, you figure it out by the pull down menus.
Right.
But, that's one of the things where the Mass Central Rail Trail group, they have somebody that's good at tech and might help us with the website.
There you go.
But the main thing that's gonna get it done, I think, is the grants. because it's very expensive to, even for one that's not paved, it's very expensive.
Yeah, I mean, we talk paving, that's,
And I think the town didn't want pavement because of the runoff.
Mhm.
Um,
all right, yeah.
so,
Nice gravel would be just fine,
yeah,
but it'd be nice to have a trail.
yes, yes. Yeah, the main force behind this has been working on it for over 30 years. And, Belchertown voted against having this trail back in like 98 or something.
This is a while ago.
So it's,
If I remember, it was one or two abutters that were really like against it, that kind of like, yeah,
but they bought some of the land, I think.
since then, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I've only been with the group for a couple of years, so it seems like it's heading in a good direction. It's just not something that happens overnight.
Mhm.
So, like everything, right? Like with the
Right.
electric chargers.
Yes.
I mean, that was a bigger project than everyone anticipated. And that's the way things go. And so
Slow wheels of progress.
you just got to keep at it. That's what people explain to me. You just, like you probably might have found out the same thing with the Belchertown Energy and.
There was a state, I mean, it sat at the state DPU for a year. And so we're finally like, making some noise about it, and they finally released it, and then
Right.
it got rolling again. But it took almost 3 years to get that through.
Yeah. So that's you go through the hoops, and if you just patient and persistent, and you get something done.
I noticed one thing that that Mass Central Rail Trail newsletter talked about is they're trying to market this with the Massachusetts Office of Tourism. It was MOTT, but I don't remember what the other two were. Something about the Office of Tourism, saying that a big draw of people coming to Boston or to Massachusetts is Europeans, and they like to bike.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's important to have biking trails. And I know that in the past, they've looked at how much tourism it brings, how much money it brings to communities of people who like to bike. For people who have either shops along the biking trails or restaurants, or something,
That's why this section from Warren Wright to Amherst, or to Northampton is nice, because there's several spots you can kind of pull up and.
And I think they want to create a spur trail to downtown.
Mhm.
And that also, there's making that development down where the Belchertown School was, I think.
Mhm.
And they're making a path up to town for that as well.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, tell me again about, the one that goes from, Jadish Brook and then crosses Old Springfield Road, and then it actually comes out by the general store and Chubby's there. It goes,
yeah,
it continues after that, we can go under Route 9?
Yeah,
I thought it was just rough after that, or,
it does continue on. It pretty much solidly ends at Jackson Street. Like it goes through.
oh, it ends at Jackson?
Yeah, it's pretty poor
That's what I
condition
thought.
most of the time. Like I've run there a couple times. It's
Yeah.
pretty muddy most of the time, or just
Oh,
like not
okay.
well kept.
yeah,
So
it is.
It just
it
only
is
goes to
muddy.
Jackson, so it doesn't really go,
No.
I thought maybe it went further,
Well, it is there, it's just very rough.
Yeah.
You can get through to where the town dump is. Although,
That's right. That's right.
You
There,
can.
it's jogging my memory a little bit now. It's like kinda
people
goes
do
through
it, but you gotta
woods.
be ready for some branches in your face and some rocks that you're gonna
Oh,
go
so
over.
sorry. And
It's
like-
there though.
And it's a similar idea.
Lots of poison ivy at the trail part that I was coming from Amherst.
Yeah. It's a similar idea with the Warren Wright entrance though, because once you get out on Jackson Street, it's like it barely looks like there's a trail. But if you go up just a little bit, there's sort of like kind of like mountain biking trails almost through that little area.
Try that.
Yeah, the group had a walk there, not that long ago. I think it was in June.
Yeah.
And about 30 people came, but it is a rough and muddy section. But that's the one that's going to be tackled with this grant that they expect to get. So there's an engineering study done and all of that. So
30 people is a good amount, because, 30 people, that means there's probably, 5 others that wanted to go that didn't, so-
Yeah, well, people did email me. They actually had to do a rain date. They did a Saturday walk, but it was a bad day, so they did it on Sunday. And, some people couldn't come, but it worked out. I mean, there's been a few outings like that. There is support for it, I know.
Yeah, sounds like it. Nice. What else on transportation? Yeah? Yeah, good. Next up is Belchertown Community Energy Choice. That's myself and Chris Bacchus. I just got a text from Chris. He was gonna, he's down in Maryland, but he was gonna either call in or come in, but he just said he's at a family function, he can't make it, so you'll have to just listen to me.
That's okay.
Yeah. So I sent out the
All right.
the marketing stuff that, and I think I did send it to you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The marketing stuff that Good Energy is working on with the communications department. Steve Williams is involved as well. And then Chris and I and Frank Byrne too. And some of it's getting out. I'm in communication with Kate, the communications department. And the piece on the news flash on the 1 year anniversary, I think this is the one that went into the Belchertown Chronicles newsletter, the digital newsletter. So that's in there. But there was the series on, there was a series of 3 that covered the cost benefit, the carbon benefit, and the participation. There was one for each of those. I think they were supposed to roll out over a certain period of time. And I guess I'm not sure where it was going to go. I thought it was going to go on the Belchertown Facebook site, which I hadn't seen it. I think it was supposed to maybe go on BCTV. So that's kind of being all put together and rolling. And this was also supposed to be in the Sentinel. Kate submitted this to the Sentinel, the news flash.
Well,
And we haven't seen it yet. So I think we're going to follow up on that and see if we can find out where that is. Because Kate's only part-time, she's got a lot on her plate. So I offered our subcommittee and anybody else that wants to be involved to help out where we can with getting these things posted and out. And then the idea from that is once that's out, then we want to go into the opt up to 100% renewable campaign. But we wanted to kind of put this stuff out there first to get some exposure, get some in various places. Like I mentioned, the social media, the digital newsletter, BCTV, and the Sentinel, and get those beginning marketing pieces out. And then we're going to come out with the opt up one, which is being worked on, but it basically is similar to the other ones where it lists the 3 prices and is talking about enrolling up the Belchertown 100 option. So
I think that one that showed the prices that are typical for National Grid.
Yeah.
And then it compares it to the whole program. That one is really good.
Yeah.
Where it has, because the ones, if you're just looking at just what our program offers, it's hard for people to say, well, how is that worth it? But that other one that was in the Belchertown news is good.
I'm glad you brought that up because
Somehow that should be included in.
I think it's important for people to see that it's a lower price than,
Right, than what they're paying.
That's
Why
what-
would they opt out?
that was some of the feedback we gave on this piece was that it's not, it needs to be a little more on the cost benefit. It's like, you can say, well, for less than a penny more, you can go from, a 10% renewable to 100%. It's actually 73% with the state. The state already requires like 63% anyway. So with the Belchertown standard, you're going from 63% renewable to 73. With the Belchertown 100, you're going from 73% renewable to 100. So it's not like you're going from 10% to 100. You're going from 73% to 100.
Mhm.
But it's less than a penny to do that. So on a typical 600 kilowatt hour house a month, that's, $6 to go 100% renewable. And when you compare that to National Grid, it's even, better. So, and that's what's missing this piece. And that's kind of the feedback that we're going to
Right,
give
and
back to
it would be
them.
nice to have that other flyer, have that in, like, everything of one sheet,
Yeah.
not just have multiple flyers with different information,
Yeah.
because people are not gonna wanna cross-reference.
Yeah, I think the idea was to highlight like the benefit of
Oh,
each
each
one.
one.
One's on the participation, one's on carbon, because there's a lot of carbon saving too, with this, that over the course of the year. And of course, when you go up to the 100%, that's even more, you have a much bigger impact. And I think that needs to be spelled out a little more here too. So we're still working through this with them.
If you put the National Grid prices, that kind of a moving target, because
It is, and that's
hard if you put out a flyer. It might be different by the time people read it.
I think they put the dates on that.
yes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dates. The
It
dates
says-
of
it says the,
prices are,
As of,
right.
National Grid just changed last month. The rates went up a little more from the winter rate. Now they're on the summer rate, and so every 6 months they change. And that's why there's always a line here that says we can't guarantee price savings because we never know what National Grid's going to be from 6 months to 6 months. But right now it's a couple penny a kilowatt hour, so it's $12 to $15 probably savings going to the Belchertown standard. But they had somebody call me up and ask me that they want to switch because the National Grid pricing has gone up some, not a lot, but some. And so now's the time to get this stuff out, and I think that's what we're looking for on this too, is to get the National Grid pricing in there. All right, I think National Grid goes till January, and then they're going to switch again, I believe. So, yeah, it is a moving target.
Did one of those run in the Sentinel this week? I
No,
didn't get a chance to look at
No.
it. Okay,
it was supposed to.
was supposed to.
Well, she told me she submitted it like 2 weeks ago, or maybe last week. She thought it was going to run last week, so we're waiting for this one to come out to see if it's running this week. And she said, if it doesn't run this week, then, I told her we'll follow up on it,
Yeah.
or she asked us to follow up on it.
and then there's that town newsletter, the digital one.
That's the
Carriage
one,
Town.
yeah, there's the Carriage Town, that's the one this
That
one
one was in there.
did show in, yeah. Right. And so this does have the National Grid pricing on it. It was 14.6, 14.7, now it's 15.5. So it's, certainly
Yeah, it's,
2 cents higher than the standard, and it's still over a penny savings on the Belchertown 100. So
and even the Belchertown 100 is savings compared to National Grid.
yeah. So I think that's going to get spelled out in this one. That's going to go out. Let's see if there's anything else I have on this. So I'll send. I'm not sure. That's why I didn't send this out yet, because this is still kind of in flux. So give us some time to work on this, and hopefully we'll get it out before the anniversary goes too far. Well, this one doesn't. This one doesn't matter.
Working on it with Good Energy or working on it with Kate?
Both.
Both, okay.
But this one is actually more with Good Energy because we have a new rep there at Good Energy, Courtney, and she's good. She came out with all these pretty quickly, and it's really more on our end, our subcommittee end, because between myself, Frank, and Chris, like Chris is out this week, I'm out starting Friday
just
next
getting
week.
everybody
Frank
together.
was out, so we can't seem to get together. And, shoot emails and text back and forth to each other. So, but what you said, Patricia, was pretty much kind of what we want to make the changes, make it more like this one. Good.
Nice with the town logo there.
Yeah, that's the new town logo. That was the other thing that we were working on another piece, and we had the original town seal on there, and that caused a bit of a delay because we're going back and forth and this wasn't ready yet, the new town logo, so that'll have that on there. I pushed hard to have the seal on, not hard, but I pushed to have the seal on there instead because it is a town program. It is, this is only for town, official town business. Well, this is official town program, so it should be on there, but I guess unless it's like a letter going out, that's what gets the seal versus published pieces or things like that, and then it gets the logo. Okay, I think that's all I have. At least that's all I can get back here. Okay, I think that's all I got. Public outreach and education. Reed, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I have a couple things. So Kate updated the website with the member section. We're going to have her updated again because we now have 2 new members since that.
Oh, good.
But now she has 4 open positions on there, so I'll have her change it to our new 2 members.
Good.
It sounds like that section of the website is locked, so like I can't edit it. Like I can edit the sort of body of it, but I can't edit the member section, so she'll have to do that every time.
On our website,
Yeah, on our
webpage,
webpage, yeah.
she can't give you permission to go in there?
Yeah, they lock that sidebar. For like only like the actual town employees can do it, I guess.
Okay.
And then I've been trying to get access to our official committee email address. Kate's reached out to IT a couple times and we've heard nothing, so
Okay.
it's still in progress.
All right, that's right.
It's not going too well, but
Well, like I said, progress moves slowly sometimes, yeah, so.
and then I wrote kind of a skeleton outline of a EV article. It's just basically a paragraph just kind of telling people what it is and where it is and stuff like that. So I have a list of questions that I need to send to Mike because I kind of figured out what things I don't know about, like what type of charger is it and.
You can send them to Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, you should go to Patricia. She's the full-time member, and Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send it to both.
But Mike might have more time to respond.
But I know he's on vacation this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
That time of year.
Yeah,
I just got back from vacation today.
yeah, wow, you made it.
But
Yeah, I'm leaving kind of first thing tomorrow morning, so I still gotta pack up the camper and, so.
What?
Yeah. But it's pretty much ready to roll, it just needs to get final packed. So, same thing on, in fact, I think I asked Kate on that series, the BCEC series, those 3 slides, I think what I said was we can put that on our webpage. See, I thought we could do that, but she has to do that?
Well, we might be able to do that part. I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
There's a little sidebar that has like, here are the members, here's the time they meet. That's what
Just this
that's the
part.
part that's
Yes,
for sure
yes.
locked.
Okay.
Other things might be open. I know the sort of middle page part of it, that I can definitely edit.
Okay, oh, good, so you're not like totally locked out,
Not
it's just,
totally.
I got you, good,
Some
I'm glad you clarified that. Because what I'd like is to have those 3, well, you and I talk about, how we want to do that, but those 3 slides, if you will, or and then maybe even, I don't know if this is good to post on there, but the other 3 might be, and then just maybe not all at once, but change them every month or something like that, maybe. So, why don't you and I talk about that when I get back from vacation, from my travels I'm always on vacation. So when I get back from my travels, beginning of September, first week in September. Good. good. I'm glad you did that because I wanted to mention, about, putting on things like that. If it's an easy thing to do or not. I'm still not clear on it. And you learned too on,
Yeah, I still need to figure out what because there's a bunch of other sections of the website that I think suppose we can edit, but I'm not 100% sure if I can do that part or not.
Yeah.
If I can, it'd be good to just put links to all these kinds of things that we have. And
yeah, there you go. Yeah. And you're, being young, I'm assuming you're tech savvy to know how to do all that.
as long as it's not locked.
You could teach me. I can still learn, but I just don't know how to do it to begin with, so. Yeah, good. What else? Anything else on the communication side?
Pretty much it for now. I've been thinking of ideas for a couple more articles. A lot of the stuff that I have is more on the sort of like landscaping side of things, or like on it's more of the ecological kind of stuff, which I'm thinking is maybe better to save for like March, April, May kind of time frame.
Yeah.
I want to publish something and then have it be winter immediately, then everyone kind of reads about it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good thought. And I haven't. I know we were talking about that the business with the solar ready stuff, and I haven't gotten through to my contact. I'm not even sure where he is. He used to live in Belchertown, but I think he lives on the Cape now. I'm not sure if I still have his contact. That was on the lumber place we were talking about that has, I think they're powered pretty much by solar. You knew the name of it.
Culpeper.
Culpeper, yes, yeah. So I didn't get anywhere with that. Good. Okay, let's move on to the other things. I had listed as upcoming events because now that we're gelling and we're starting to get up to speed again as a committee and have people that can maybe go to different events and staff a booth. But there were several recently that have gone by. Food Truck Friday was one. Then we had the national
Night out.
National Night Out. And that one just, by the time I realized it was going on, it was after our last meeting and I couldn't.
It's like a few days later.
Yeah. So, we kind of missed that one, but I think that would have been a good place for us to go and have a booth and talk about what we do and, have those, have that recycling page. And I think we got some other information that we had we could put on the table, but I want to start having us think about, other ones we can do. We used to do the farmer's market every Sunday. Not every Sunday, but when we could, we'd staff it. That was more when the Belchertown Community Choice Program was getting up and running and we wanted to, be there for people that had questions and stuff like that. We didn't get a lot of draw, but we got some that didn't, that was confused about it, which we helped, and others that had enrolled and were happy with it. So,
I think I saw you and someone else at that booth when I first moved to town a couple of years ago, and I went to the farmer's market and stopped by there and became aware of that. Oh, there's this kind of thing going on in Belchertown.
Right.
So it does affect people.
Yeah. Good. So the farmer's market goes until October.
Is that when they move indoors? They have an indoor one.
Yeah, then they have the indoor one. And again, Brittany's the one that coordinates the booths, and our particular booth doesn't really quite fit with the Belchertown Farmers Market. But since we were coming out with a new program, she allowed us to go and set it up. When they did move indoors, she basically said, I don't know if it's a smaller thing, and I don't know if we have room for you. So we weren't given the priority that we were earlier, and I understood that. So, but we might want to consider doing something like that, even if it's just to put a booth up and talk about, some of the things around some of the programs that are out there, whether it be recycling, or I sent out that blurb with the, was it the National Grid one, or was it on the heat pumps? It was on the heat pumps, wasn't it? Did I send something else? Yeah, right. That's all good information to share with people. And so, in your travels, when you come across something like that, make a side note to yourself or share it with the committee on things like that. And we can always build a bunch of information to share those things and have available. And even if you just, I think I made a thing with different links on it. So I just got to find out where that file is. If there's any other events, we did the Belchertown Fair last year, and that wasn't, Patricia, you were there for a while, right? And we did get a lot of traffic there.
Not too much, but some.
Yeah, but I'm not planning on doing the Belchertown Fair this year. Unless people say, yeah, we want to do something, but I haven't contacted anybody to do that. And then food truck Fridays are done, so those are done, over with. I actually missed one event, was the Belchertown Lions car show, which I was working.
That was a big show.
That was incredible. It was 236 cars. And did you take a walk around?
No, I just drove by, but I was impressed with the size of it.
236 cars, and we had 50-50 raffle, and we had the Chinese raffle, plus the registration, plus what we made from food. It was a really good fundraiser for us. It was very busy, but one of the members knows that on this committee says, "How come you didn't have the can and bottle thing out there? Because everybody just throwing their cans and bottles in the trash."
Oh.
And I have a connection at the rec department where they have some of these barrels for cans and plastic, and it just, it's going over my head. So feel free to, if you know events that are coming up, to share them and say, maybe this is something you want to do, if it makes sense to do that. And we'll start going to some of those if you guys want to do that.
But you don't want to do the fair?
No, I don't think we'll do the fair this year because,
Well, the fair draws a lot of people from out of town, so,
you're right. Yeah.
I mean, it draws a lot of people from in town as
Right,
well, that
right.
maybe people are just thinking, we're here to have fun and eat food and
And the
go on
cans and
rides.
bottles are already taken care of by the Boy Scouts.
Right, that's already right. And I tried composting there last year, and they just weren't ready for that, and we frankly weren't either. So it's too big of an event. It's too big of an event to do composting. So we'll have to work on that one. But right, we were set up in the old town hall, and that's where, if there's townies, that's where they would go. So
True.
and even with that,
Exhibit hall, right?
yeah, the exhibit
Yes.
hall, yeah, I call it the old town hall.
Right.
I remember that, yeah.
That's what it was called when I was playing basketball in here back in the day. So,
Is there one central place where other groups in town can communicate, to say, hey, we're having an event? There seems to be, like you said, I missed, we didn't know about this event, or we've realized it a couple of days too late.
probably Belchertown Facebook is probably.
Is that the best place to
Probably
look?
now it's starting to be the best place. Yeah, we're starting to get more draw there. Again, sometimes it's in the Sentinel and sometimes not. Sometimes I read the Sentinel a week later, So,
Yes, yeah.
And
Or the week before, and you say, oh, well, it's next week.
Yeah, right. So it's right before. So, it's just a matter of of course, they had the big digital sign down by the school too on the National
Some
Lighthouse.
things are up there, yep.
Yeah, so.
Is there a town calendar? Like, not the official stuff, it has the committee meetings and stuff like that, but if there was a calendar.
Yeah, because
So that
even
would
like
be
the schools
easy.
have like a school calendar,
Right.
that
It
you
would be
can,
nice if there's a town calendar.
school district.
Well, this is
Oh,
out
these
on
events.
the Facebook page.
It's on the Facebook page now?
Yeah,
Oh, good, she's got it on there then.
yeah.
Nice.
What's that, Rich?
When this document
Oh,
is
yeah, that
on
is
the Facebook page,
on our page, yeah.
I think it's 44 minutes ago. Is that right?
Oh, wow. Wow. It looks like it just got posted. I'm glad you saw that. Good for you. Yeah, I'll have to take a look, because it wasn't there 2 days ago. That's when I put a note out to Kate. And, good. Good. So you got into
It
the.
already has one like.
Oh, yeah, good. Was it you?
Kate Ann.
So the Belchertown sign-in worked for you on this? You picked Belchertown guest, because you
Yes.
did the password work?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Because I would think that all of these events would have to get like a permit or something. They can't just,
True.
you'd have to let the town know.
I just
"Hey, we're
did
gonna have
search
this
on
thing
calendar.
On the town common. So if they have to get a permit, then there must be someone who's getting that information and has a calendar of all these events.
And again, the Belchertown Facebook page has
Yeah.
a calendar, but it's the meetings.
Right,
Yeah,
well,
just
no,
the
there's
meetings.
other things here, I just put in the search calendar, and although it's not in any particular
Right,
order,
it's
because
not.
there's something here from 2014.
Yeah,
Clearly that's,
yeah, all right, so it's,
but the community yard sale was posted, which was August 8th.
yeah,
Yeah, and just some
Right.
other miscellaneous, but there's 136 pages of the calendar, so
Wow.
I don't know if it's been
So it's not
kept up to
If they're not
date.
taking stuff off,
It's, yes, they're adding, but items are definitely not being taken off. So-
yeah, the next thing coming up is the St. Francis tag sale, right? But again, that's not probably the right venue for us to put it up or something
No,
like that.
probably
no.
not.
So.
People are just looking for bargains.
Right. So, well, this is a bargain, you can
Well,
save money.
true, but
There you go, you can sell it that way. So I just wanted to bring that up about, now that we're getting, back on track, and you guys have become more and more familiar about, the kind of stuff that we can do, and, some of the communications that are being worked on. Start thinking of these events and just share them and say, maybe we should consider this or not. So the other things that I brought up earlier at the beginning of the meeting was I got invited to the Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources, DOER. There was a person here. She was like the regional coordinator. And apparently they are going through site planning draft requirements for things like solar fields and things like that, small to large. She's focusing more on the small ones, which small is small is. I can send this out if people want to see it, but yeah, I'll send this out to you. It's got some information on it. Small projects are like some of the ones that have been coming to town here, like the one in the field there as you're going to Blue Meadow there, Richard Green's place.
Oh, yeah, what used to be the golf.
Yeah,
The mini golf,
thing,
yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
So what they're trying to do is streamline the, when people submit projects, streamlining it. And I think one of the good things they're doing is they're coming up with a scorecard. So if say you're proposing, like a couple years ago, to clear cut the side of a hill or a mountain and put up solar panels, you're taking down trees, that's not gonna get a very big score. If you're gonna put up a good sized canopy out here, that's not gonna hurt anything, it's already pavement, you're covering pavement, that'll get a higher score. And based on that, it kind of helps them streamline the applications that are coming through, and they're trying to make it easier. The people that attended, from several departments and committees, Doug Albertson from the planning board and somebody else from the planning board, I thought, and the conservation department were there, and the DP, Linda from the DPW was there as well. And they brought some good points. They said Belchertown has been dealing with this as well as a lot of the other towns for like 15 years, and the state's just now coming up with these draft regulations, and in fact, the planning board came up with from one of these solar fields that were proposed a couple of years ago that involved clear cutting the side of a hill or a mountain and causing some runoff issues that never got approved. The bylaws that were prepared through the planning board is kind of like the model for other towns. They did a really good job on doing that. So thank you, Dan, and his group. And that was referenced during that meeting. It was like, Belchertown's actually done a really good job of setting up criteria, for putting these things in place. So, but anyway, she came in just to go over what they're doing, and it's really probably going to impact more this part of the state, the western part of the state, because there's not a lot of open land on the eastern part of the state. So that was another point that was brought up. They said, well, you're putting these regulations out, but you're going to be boxing the land use in the western part of the state. And so it was good, let's call it constructive criticism, and it was all positive. It wasn't meant to be negative. So she was happy to hear that type of feedback. So I thought it was a good meeting. If you like, I'll send this out. There's 17 slides in there, but I'll send this out either before, probably when I get back from my travels. I'm making note of that. Unless I do it tonight, but I don't think I will. If I do, it'll be around midnight. So you'll be getting this from me, and you'll be getting. I'm not going to send out the. I'm not going to send out the opt-up thing until we come up with a different draft on that one. So I'll send out the slide deck. Any questions on that? I don't know if I covered. There was a lot in here to cover, but I just kind of want to give you an overview of what that was about.
It applies to any new construction, or
It's basically, I think it's basically like renewables. It's mostly solar, wind, solar, biomass. So there's not a lot of biomass. There's not a lot of wind. So it's mostly solar. And again, there was a description on.
and when they apply, they want to streamline the site planning.
They want to streamline the site planning and also kind of put a rating on it, like a scorecard kind of thing, to say, is this a good thing to do or not? And one of the people that was in that meeting cited several bad projects that happened in other towns. I think Williamsburg was something happened. I got to check into that, but I guess Williamsburg had a disaster with one of their sites. They approved it, and it caused, I think it was like runoff or something that was. It shouldn't have been put in, so.
So with the score that the projects get, does that affect them getting grants or getting approval by the towns?
I think what that probably does is it puts them in a quicker permitting.
Like if they have a really good score, then they're more likely to get a permit. Then if they have a poor score, they better go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it usually goes back to the town, and they'll raise some flag and say,
better look at this again. Or
yeah.
something.
See, Belchertown has really good bylaws, but other towns don't. Some of the smaller towns, and so that's why some of these things are happening that really shouldn't be happening. And I think it's meant to help them decide to, you know.
So that they have like the force of the state on their side, so if they say, this is not a good plan, they say, look, this is why, this is not a good plan.
Yeah, I guess they, the scoring thing, she said, was like a lot of pages, so it's pretty involved. I think they should streamline some of that scorecard, but it's all going through, and I think there's gonna be, it's on a fast track too. They have to have this done by like November or something like that, so there's gonna be, I'm glad you brought that up, that there's gonna be, I think a public hearing on that. I don't know if it's by town or if it's gonna be a, you know, a virtual meeting kind of thing. I'm just still trying to figure that out. So I'll send that out. Good. Anything else on that? Good. The other thing I wanted to bring up was something I heard on NPR. I don't know, it was on the 413 or something, had it come on my radio. But there's this guy from the Arcadia. Was it
Arcadia Folk Festival, yeah, I heard the tail end of that too.
Yeah.
It's the Audubon
Mass Audubon,
Refuge there in East Hampton.
Yeah. I guess they're having like a folk festival. But,
Yeah, I heard about that.
But what this guy is doing is, and I think he's done it before there, he's trying to make it as sustainable as possible. No plastics, everything's compostable.
For the festival.
Yeah, everything's compostable. You know, if you're supposed to be very conscious of you know, of your trash, and it's very minimal trash. You know, so it's meant to be either compostable, recyclable, and very little trash. And you know, I want to look into that, and I encourage you guys too to, you know, to see what you can find out about that, because I think some of the things he's doing is things that we should consider incorporating in some of the things we're doing.
Who is the person?
It's Jonah Keene, I think is, if I got his name right.
K-E-E-N?
I got it on the radio, so I.
Oh, okay. But that's.
Keene, I think it was Keene.
Oh, wait a minute, I have the website here, maybe I can find him.
Jonah Keene.
They're actually, on the website, it says Arcadia is now a certified MFS festival. Not sure what MFS stands for.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that.
Something in sustainability.
I think his name is Jonah Keene.
I've seen Keane.
Keane.
Solar powered, zero waste, plant-based, everything, transportation, and
Yeah.
it's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the stuff he was saying, was like, it kind of blew me
Wonder if
away.
he's somebody that.
Oh,
would get to come.
musicians for sustainability.
Okay, that's what the
Oh,
NF,
okay.
yeah.
Nice,
Right,
nice.
that makes sense because it's folk festival.
Yeah.
Wonder if
So I
we
think
can
that's
jump
this
to it.
weekend, because
Yeah.
I would love to go on to that, but.
I was thinking of going to it actually, but
Well,
we
you know,
have some family things.
Yeah.
When is it?
It's, tomorrow night, there's, well, tomorrow yes, tomorrow night, there's a concert at the Academy, in Northampton, Academy of Music, and then at the other part of the festival is Saturday.
Okay.
That's it,
At
that's what.
at Arcadia, yeah.
Yeah.
The actual Audubon.
That's
site.
Saturday, and is it Sunday as well, or?
Let's see, no, it says 22nd and 23rd.
Okay, oh, that was 2 days, I wasn't sure if it was Saturday, Sunday, so it's Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, it's Friday, Saturday.
Well, this is something that came up before. What they're doing is that 100% plant-based, so they're not doing any meat at all.
Oh, that's right, yeah. That's what it-
I know that was an issue here.
Yeah, some things guys go a little too far, but, you know, but, yeah, all the, you know.
It's not, we don't want to make everyone vegans, but we want to inspire people to try out more plant-based options at home and when eating out to reduce the impact of your diet on the climate.
And actually, he said that during the interview when the talking was, yeah. So this isn't his first go around. I think he's been developing this right along, but because I think he said there was other things that he's done or that he's working with people on to encourage this kind of thing. Yeah,
This is great.
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. So on the website you have there is just.
Yeah,
it's
it talks all about it.
It's just like Acadia, would you just?
Yeah, this is about from the Post
Arcadia.
Festival website.
Okay, you just put it
They
right.
have it all.
Okay.
I mean, they have
Look.
this link to sustainability,
Yeah.
and then all the things they're doing.
Yeah. And zero
So it's
waste.
very
you know.
impressive.
They have some good sponsors too, Dean's Beans,
Yeah.
Abandoned Building Brewery, NEPM, of course, River Valley Co-op, makes sense. Northeast Solar is a
Yeah.
sponsor, and Gateway Fiber.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So we'll see what we can learn from that, and yeah, maybe we could have him come in and talk sometime too. Which is a good idea. If you come across these things, and it sounds like we could have somebody come in as a guest speaker, you know. Not that I want to do a lot of that, but you know, if it's something that.
He may have ideas that we could use.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the same thing. Why reinvent the wheel if someone's already done it? And you know.
Right.
So good.
Did you want to talk about that heat pump thing also that you sent us?
I did, but that was from Green Energy Consumer Alliance. I don't actually remember now what the. You have that?
Because I found out about that somehow.
Yeah.
And I wrote to National Grid and said, yeah, I have the heat pump. I'd like to know what the special rates are. And they wrote back to me, believe it or not.
Good.
And it says you'll soon have an opportunity, if you have a heat pump, to get the special heat pump rate. And it's going to launch November 1st. It's not actually started yet. But in order to get it, you have to sign up and verify with your accepted proof of installation, photos of the equipment, serial numbers, proof of purchase or payment, contractor invoice. You have to, prove that you have one.
Okay.
And then the final rates are pending approval by the DPU. So it's sort of in progress or coming soon.
Here's my question on that. Were they talking the supply rate or were they talking the distribution rate? Were they talking the page one? In other words, if
I know what you mean.
If you're on the town program, I don't know if you can, I don't know if you're not.
Right, maybe you're not eligible.
Right,
Mhm.
but I think what I saw in there, and again, I just didn't have a chance to take a closer look
It
at it.
is.
I think it might be on the distribution side, on the page one part of your bill, which is now the bigger part of your bill. It's
That's
not
right.
so much the cost. of
It
the
says
kilowatt hour.
enjoy discounts on the kilowatt hour base distribution charge.
The distribution charge. Oh, so it doesn't matter who your supplier is, it's the distribution charge. So that would have a benefit.
Yeah. So you get a better rate during the winter.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
That's the kind of thing that if we had a booth,
Yeah,
set up,
we could-
and we could tell people about that, because Green Energy Consumer Alliance is, I think I mentioned them before, and
Yeah.
encourage you to hook in with them and see what they're talking about a lot of times. But they'll send stuff like this out. And, I don't know how other people know about it or how else it gets out there. So we could certainly be a channel for those kind of things. Yeah. In fact, even on your own, you could just, spread the word to all your friends and neighbors about that as well.
So Rich, you just went on the National Grid site, or you read it somewhere?
I read it somewhere,
Oh, okay.
or I might have got an email that told me about it because I'm, on these email lists for different green groups.
What did I do? Did I forward the,
You forwarded something.
I forwarded I think the Green Energy Consumer Alliance, what they sent me. So there's a link on there, I think, that maybe is the one you're accessing. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. It's from your email from June. Massachusetts heat pump incentives. That was what you,
For me?
yeah, well, it was the Green Energy Consumers Alliance that you had forwarded to
Yeah,
us, and,
that might have been another one, because
oh, is that the
The
incentives just to
rebates on the heat pumps?
install? That might be.
yeah, because I do, this one I just sent out a week or two ago, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, here it is. It's just if you're installing a heat pump
Even
system.
just a few days ago, I think.
Yeah, that's, I want to take what should we do about that information?
Yeah, it's on the email that you sent on
Yeah, there it is.
August 18th, like a week ago. So it says here, this means heat pump customers can expect to save around $540 on their heating bills this winter. Not bad.
That sounds like,
I'm gonna look into
that
it.
sounds like a lot, yeah.
So could we put that on our website, or
Can
put like one
Yeah.
little blurb about that, and then a
Yeah, we
link to the
can
green.
do
A
it.
link to the
Yeah,
Green
Green
Energy.
Energy Consumer Alliance.
Yeah.
So you can save on your energy costs in the winter.
Yeah, can we do that? Yeah. Again, it'd be nice if people, really get their idea of, how many people come onto our site and look for those kinds of things. But I think the more we start putting out information like that, the more we'll start, people say, oh, I wonder, what else they found out, we can access.
Or maybe we could even include it in the digital newsletter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Check out our website if you own a heat pump for more information about cost savings.
Or for the town's newsletter.
For the
Yeah,
town's,
the
yeah,
digital
Carriage
newsletter.
Town digital newsletter.
And it takes effect November, you said, right? So,
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of time to get that word out.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the process is, you gotta show that you have a heat pump.
Yeah.
Well, there will be
Yeah.
hoops.
Yeah,
to
fair
jump through,
enough,
I'm
right?
sure.
I mean, you could just ask for the rate, and if you don't verify it, that everybody will get it.
Right, yeah, I get it. But like mine went in, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, so I don't know if I have that information anymore.
You go back to the installer or
Yeah, I can
something.
go back to the installer. I mean, I probably have it somewhere.
I think I have mine, it's like
Right.
2 years ago though.
Right, yeah. You've been in there for 2 years now, already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, jeez. How long, when did you move in? About 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
2 years ago.
little more.
Yeah.
June of 23, I think.
Good, I'm glad you brought that up, because I kind of forgot that I sent that out and how important it was, so.
So Reed, if you're gonna put something, I could send it to you, like what National Grid sent to me, what the information is about it.
Yeah, I think I might have gotten it too. I know I saw that email,
Okay,
so I think I have it.
all right.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Good, I'm glad you looked into it when I had a chance to.
Who can put it in the town's e-newsletter?
Oh, yeah.
Or you contact?
I can contact Kate, yeah. Yeah, you want me to contact Kate on that, or?
Yeah.
Or for the newsletter, because that'd be two different things.
I'll do the website.
You would do the website.
Yeah, and I know it also said, hey, we can emphasize this, that it's for anyone who has a heat pump, but it's your entire electricity bill. So if you have an EV, your EV rate is also lower because you have a heat pump. So it's the heat pump kind of gives you everything,
Wow.
basically. Because they have no way of separating out the electricity.
Right.
from the pump, so.
If you can see about getting that posted, you have to go through Kate on that, or is that something?
I think I can just do it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, all right. Like I say, if you have to go through Kate to do that, you might as well just ask her to put it on the digital newsletter as well, but if you're just gonna, if you can have it.
Yeah, this I can just edit myself, I think.
Okay, all right, so I'll bring that to Kate. Does somebody have a dog in the car?
I'm here now.
It's not, no, is that not you? Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a good thing to do. Good. What else?
I read through all of the sustainability plan that Belchertown
Oh my
and
God.
Pleasant Stone had.
I did
The
too.
growth plan, yeah.
It was incredibly comprehensive, and I'm honestly, I was sharing with my dad because he works in this sort of field too, and he was very impressed at Belchertown, and that this company created this.
Yeah, Fuss and O'Neill and,
Like 300 something pages, I think.
It was like 90, and a lot of it wasn't as bad as it looked.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just like the sources and stuff, and it's really great. I've printed out like pretty much all the stuff is at the last 9 pages that you need.
right, the appendix
Yes.
at the end has it
That's
all,
it.
Right.
but the whole thing is, yeah, it's like a Bible. The whole thing, goes to detail in each one of these sections, so good for you for going through that.
So it's great, and it seems like based on a lot of the conversations that we're having, that most of what we're doing is based off of this plan.
Right.
Like a lot of these sections. There were a lot of things that I put parentheses, like when I was taking notes on it, it was like follow up. There's like lots of things that it's like action plans or like action steps that like could happen, but like I'm not sure if they have yet. And maybe that plays into the like the newsletter, like getting like outreach things, like making sure people know about like what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just like general ones. Like the first one I saw was like with the using working in natural lands, like partnering in Belchertown or regional food systems and farming resilience plan. Like just it doesn't have to be that specific, but just like a little about it. It just seems like there are lots of actionable things that can come from that. So it's cool that there's like lots of steps that way.
Yeah.
It's like it gives us good direction.
It does, and then that's what we were kind of weighing was how do we help make some of these things happen, and that's why each one of us was like assigned like one section to be like, the overseer on that and know what's going on in town, what isn't going on, but then there's still, how do we turn these things into projects?
Right.
And then it was like, well, we can't have 7 projects come out of this committee because, just you sell some of these projects, they really suck you in, just take time.
Yeah.
Also depends on how much oversight we have, like as a committee, like how much can we really impact it.
Right. Yes, and that's the other thing too, is because I was looking to one of the things on there, and that's when the whole budget thing was going, and nobody wanted to, take on another thing of looking into these kinds of things. So, but I think now that that's over, and now that we're regrouping, we can certainly start applying some of those things, or pick 1 or 2 projects and say, let's,
Yeah, maybe it would be a good idea to revisit, this document, at least the last 9 pages or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there is some overlap, that's what I had noticed.
definitely.
Like we could certainly do some things, but, other committees in town are already, or other boards,
Yes.
that's like under the planning board purview.
Right, yeah.
Should we bother,
Right.
attacking?
It's pretty complicated. Like I did like you, and I looked through it, and I took some notes, and I found all the action. Well, there's so many things that could come out of it, and but it's difficult to find exactly what has been done or who would be doing it.
That was the other problem. Like for instance, the Conservation Commission, they were involved with the MVP, which is the Municipal Vulnerability Plan. And there was another one that is kind of similar to that, and this is kind of, so there is a lot of overlap, and I think that was another one of the, reaching out to what other committees are working on this. I think that's kind of how we were approaching it, was for each of your sections, what other committees are doing any of it or some of it, and so that might be a way to go too. So,
There's the 2023 Climate Resilience Plan, right? That's the sort of guiding document, because then I was looking into the 2021 Open Space and Recreation Plan also, because I'm interested in that, and that was one of the the areas, land conservation, open space and recreation.
Yes.
And I was trying to find out if they actually, someone had already made a map of all the open space land in Belchertown, and they have.
Conservation Commission did that, I think.
Uh,
Yeah, I think Sarah.
yeah,
Sarah.
it was up, and then the grant manager says the town can apply for state grants for land acquisition. So like I say, I couldn't really track down
Right.
what the status is or who you would talk to, or if it's even within the purview of this committee to be looking into it, if they're already working on it in the planning board or somewhere else. But I'm curious just to know, like, who is doing what.
If it's something that's, if it's something that important enough or you're passionate enough about, we could always approach the select board and say, here's something that we wanna start to tackle, where is it in the town?
Right.
And is somebody working on this already? So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I had like 5 things that I'm very interested in,
Okay.
but I don't, I don't think I could tackle all of them, but
Right.
I just didn't know where to go. I just wanted to bring them up because, I guess I just would like to know it's overwhelming to me that.
That's what we found out, yeah. It's like, there are other.
Which is,
people working on some of it,
I mean, it's great that there are so many actionable things.
It's very comprehensive.
Yes, but then what's the ultimate follow-up? I guess it's the town manager and the select board that would be making those types of priorities or.
Right, or if it's something that we might want to work on or assist on working on, how do we get involved? So if you want to go over those 5 things next meeting.
Yeah.
Just to kind of.
I won't be here the next meeting.
No, you really won't.
No, I'm away camping in Maine that whole week.
Okay. Well, whatever next meeting you're at, so
Yeah.
it's October. maybe.
October, yeah.
Then, again, we can use it even as like, give an overview of what they are and
Yeah,
and where they go, yeah.
And then I can also do the same, and then any overlap, we can work on something, hopefully, whatever comes up.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's very comprehensive, like very detail oriented, which is great. It really like piques my interest to be reading about all this. I've reflected on it in reference to reading sustainability plans for other towns, like during college,
Really, yeah.
and it's kind of puts me to sleep, like having to read other towns. But whenever I read, but this specifically, I was like, oh my god, like I can picture these places, like I know, like
Right, yeah.
Right, when it's.
A little bit of ownership there, yeah.
yeah. I sat down and just like read the whole thing. I was like, wow, it's easier than it normally is.
I know a couple months ago we had talked about maybe reaching out to the town to see if they had anything that they wanted to look at
Oh,
at
right.
the time. So maybe I wonder if now would be a good time to do that and see if any of your guys' stuff maybe overlaps with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
See where they're at.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I remember that was mentioned before, and maybe it is a good time.
Yeah.
It's better than it was several months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, everybody's tied up with the logo
Oh, yeah.
or something.
And it was the
Oh, well,
budget,
the override.
it was the budget,
The
the
budget,
override,
right.
yeah. And now it's the insurance thing, but it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
quite so bad.
Well, unless you're on town insurance.
And we do have a select board liaison, so, I'm thinking we can start off with her, it's Whitney Jorns. And say, how I left it with her back during the whole budget time was, how do we get these projects going and how we find out what we should be working on. So we should really bounce some ideas off her first, and then, but we have to be like I said, if you want to just like summarize some of those things.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I have it on like a document now that summarizes what I'm interested in finding out about.
oh, you already have it for your own, that you already
Yeah,
did? You
yeah.
did like an AI thing on it, or?
No, I wrote it.
No, Chris,
Well, actually, what I did was copy and paste
Yeah,
from
yeah, well,
the
that's
resilience plan,
yeah, okay.
and then just underline the sort of actionable thing, part of it.
Was it from
And that's-
different sections, or was it from one section in particular?
From 3
Three
sections.
sections, yeah, because probably the transportation one was probably.
No, I was working in natural lands
Oh, yeah,
and energy
That was-
efficiency and renewable energy and land conservation, open space and recreation. Those were the 3 sections
all
that
right.
the things that I'm interested in were in. But, I can bring that up in October.
Or send it out to us,
Yeah, I can do that.
before then.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not.
Not now, but
Right,
closer to that
right.
time.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
I
okay.
Make a note to do that, and then we'll, we'll use that as a jumping pad and see where it goes from there, yeah, good. Good, and I think now, it seems like we've gone over a hump, and now we're getting more of a comfortable zone with all these kinds of things, so I'm really glad about that, so. Good.
It's really hard to know what to focus on because there's so many things
Yeah.
that a group on sustainability energy would be interested in supporting.
In fact, after I went to this, she actually brought up, she said, solar canopies are like the easiest thing because you're not taking down trees. It's already an existing parking lot, whether it's a municipal one or a private one. But I guess there's a lot that goes into getting one of those put in.
Well, look at the chargers alone.
Yeah, right.
The canopy's bigger and more
I
complicated.
think why you don't see more canopies is because they need more steel because they're taller.
Yeah.
So the cost compared to like rooftop is a lot higher.
On the canopies.
On the canopies.
Yeah.
I did see something recently though. I saw like a video from like a solar installer somewhere, and they were kind of going through like all of the different incentives and how they're changing, and it actually sounded like there was a lot less bad than I had thought.
Yeah.
But they were saying, I think like the residential one's ending, I think this year, but they were saying if you lease, it actually still is going. So if you're, which a lot of people like do the lease kind of thing, so it's not like that still is going. And they also said storage, like battery storage, is going through 2032. And if you install solar with storage, it sounds like you can probably roll it into that and get the solar, get credit as part of the storage credit. So you might still only get the 30% if you had storage. So there's some of that.
That would be another good thing to put on the web.
Well, but that's a federal credit though, that's, right? Yeah, so I don't know if that's still.
Well,
It is
that's
now,
what I mean,
it
that's
is
the-
still now.
Right, to the end of the year or.
No, that's the part of that is still gonna be like through 2032
Oh, that's who.
is the federal one for storage.
Unless
They lump
it's-
solar
For
into
storage, yeah, okay.
So if you have storage, because I do, we have a battery backup for our solar.
Yeah, so if you were getting a new system, I think solar and storage.
So it's a one-time like rebate or something?
Well, it's just whatever it's been, just like how it's been, where it's just the federal tax credit.
Oh, okay.
Right, because like my
But it's just
panels
that's
are
not-
30%.
It's not going away as badly as it's sounded.
Sounded, yeah.
I got you. Well, that's good news. Oh. Right. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good information, and you get it out there, so. All right, anything else? Okay, there's no, next meeting is September 18th. So Rich won't be there, right? Rich is out. And then, no questions from the press or the public. No, nobody's on the screen there. Nobody's joined us. Good. Go ahead. Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, there's a motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you so much.